young people are having access to weapons that they should not. And so when you think about teenagers, it's like, are they getting it from friends? Are they getting it, at a relative's house? Or, what does that look like? With the two youngest people, the situation was they got those weapons out of their homes, and so that's concerning. And so there has to be an awareness for our families that if you are a gun owner, that you have a responsibility to lock and secure your weapons so that it doesn't get into the hands of the wrong person and cause a tragedy. I don't want things to happen at school, but I also don't want to have things happen in people's homes because, again, if you're playing with a gun at home and you spend most of your time at home, the likelihood of you getting hurt increases greatly if that weapon is not secured. Many people don't think it can happen here, and I think we have to address that violence can happen anywhere. And so, how do we put our heads together and wrap our arms around this problem in our community and say, this is not okay? These are the things that we are going to do to protect our community. And so, it's not to point fingers at parents, it's not to point fingers at law enforcement or others, but it's to say, how do we protect our children in this community? And so that means I have a role, teachers have a role, our security has a role, our parents have a role, the lawmakers have a role. So we each have some responsibility, excuse me. And it's important that we are sharing ideas. We're also looking at best practices that may be in play in other communities, what they have done, what have the results been, and using that information to say, how do we want to move forward so that we are protecting not only our schools, but our young people. I think that any leader does the best that they can with the information that they have at the time. Um, I am closing in on year 3, and the violence that we have seen in schools over the last 10 years has escalated up. This school year has probably been one of the most violent school years, and I'm talking about nationally, not in any particular location, where we're almost getting to the point of we're desensitized, and I don't ever want to get desensitized to what we see in schools. If I look back over the my own career, as a classroom teacher and even as a building principal, our drills were fire drill, tornado drill. Those were the drills that we would do in schools, and we had to do so many per year and then talk to our young people about the importance of following directions and kind of, all of those different things. This experience over the last 10 years, people have started adding safety drills around intruders and all sorts of different things. And so it speaks to the broader community issue. And if you look at some of the things that have taken place societally, you places that used to be sacred, schools used to be sacred, churches used to be sacred. There's a lot of things that are going on outside of our community, and it's the randomness that raises anxiety. These are very different times that we are living in, and we have to be willing as leaders to have conversations and stand in the gap when we have to make decisions that are not always going to be popular. And my general kind of rule for myself personally is, am I trying to do what's right for the good of the group?